Hey everyone, and welcome to 3Gs, a new replay series brought to you by Clan Game 3 at www.clang3.net. I am Balance,
And I am Cardhu.
and today we are bringing you a PvT on Belshir Vestige. This is from the DreamHack Stockholm tournament that happened recently. This is from the group stages. And in the upper left-hand corner, spawning as the blue Protoss, we have Root Gaming's Sage.
And spawning as the red Terran in the bottom right, we have CM Storm's Polt. Polt is a GSL champion. He's quite an amazing player. He's one of the only players, he is the only player to ever hold the Optimus Prime title, which is reserved for the best player on Team Prime, which includes, Marine King, Creator. He's really just an unbelievable player. He's actually recently just moved to the United States. He's studying at the University of Austin, so he's been playing a lot on the North American server. So I'm curious to see how the metagame has evolved on his playstyle. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, he's been killing it on North America. I think he's been winning like every Zotac Cup ever. Like he's pretty nuts. And so Sage over in the upper left-hand corner here again. Sage is one of my personal favorite Protoss streamers from Korea. If you ever watch his stream sometimes, guys, he's amazing. He streams all the time, and his mechanics are just bonkers. Like, he's just so fast, and he's so on top of, like, yeah, he's such a great player to watch. He's Korean Grandmaster. He plays against top players all the time, taking games off of everybody. He hasn't had any major tournament wins yet, but, he's taking games off them all. Great guy to watch. His mechanics are really, really solid, and he has some interesting builds. He throws in different builds every game. He has, like, 7 different ways to play every matchup, so he's a really exciting player to watch. So let's see how this game is starting. Let's take a look at the Terran player. What do we got here?
So Polt has opened up with a very, very standard 12 racks, 13 gas opening. So it looks like he's going to be just going into a standard tech. So he's most likely going to get around 2 Marines, and he's going to throw down his factory. Oh, wait, no. Actually, it looks like he's building a delayed Reaper, and he's actually taking his SCVs off gas. So what this tells me, he's going to be looking to scout with that Reaper, and he's going to be taking a quick command center after this. So the purpose of this Reaper is going to be a few things. One, he's going to hope to potentially get a probe kill, but really the purpose of it is to scout. He's going to be looking for 3 main things once he gets to the Protoss base. It's going to be, 1, the number of pylons that he sees. So anything less than 3, he's going to be wary of a proxy. He's going to be looking at the number of gases that Sage has. If he has 2 gases, most likely it's going to be a little bit more of a tech-heavy build. And the last thing he's going to be looking at is the chrono boost. If he has a lot of chrono boost, if he has 1 gas, he's going to be wondering, what is that going to be going towards? Sage could be chrono boosting out a Zealot. He could be chrono boosting out Warp Gate. Most likely he's not going to be 4-gating, but it's going to be a telltale sign to see what Sage is actually going to be doing. So here comes the Reaper into the base.
All right, and we take a look at Polt's perspective as we do this. We do see that he gets a nice little full scout. Nice little micro there by Sage, pulling back the her probe. Polt's going to go ahead and focus another one. Will he get it? Nope. Good micro by Sage, because just going to chase that Reaper down with the Mothership Core, force it out of the base, but Polt, of course, got a look at absolutely everything. Now with the Stalker out, the Reaper really has to run. If he sees the expansion, he sees the gases, he sees everything you were just talking about.
Yep, so as we can see, Polt is going to camp here just outside of Sage's base, just to see if, Sage is going to be moving out. Most likely the Protoss is going to be staying in his base, but if the Protoss does move out, it's going to signify some sort of aggression. Polt right now is transitioning into a very, very standard 3 racks play. He's most likely going to be looking to hit a 10-minute timing with, combat shield, stim, and +1, and try to do some damage to Sage that way.
Right, so this is a fairly standard follow-up from the Terran. So what do you think about that opening? Typically from Terran players, you either see commitment to Marines or a quick Reaper, but he actually had the 1 Marine and then the Reaper. So what do you think about that?
That was definitely a very interesting build. I've actually never seen that before. I've seen it in TVT, where players will go with an SCV, a Marine, and a Reaper. And try to put on some aggression, but I really like the delayed Reaper. I think it served the exact same purpose. Other than the fact that it gave him a little bit of an early Marine, the fact that he took SCVs off of gas really helped him get up that quick expansion. So that was a really nice opening by Polt.
Awesome. So let's take a look at how the game is progressing on Sage's side. He did take the early gases, and what we see here is we have a Stargate with an Oracle being chronoed out, and so we can see the Oracle coming down the left-hand side of the map. I am chuckling a little bit to myself because typically when you see this Oracle play from the Protoss, a lot of times it's a one-base play that you see with a proxy Stargate to get the quick Oracle over in the Terran base. But instead, we have a standard two-base play with just a Stargate follow-up after, it looks like, yeah, it was just one gate directly into Stargate, and now he's following up with a Twilight Council. So this is a crazy build here from Sage. I'm going to go ahead and say that he's going to really want to get some damage done with this Oracle. He does not have a lot of gateway units, and typically you're going to want quite a few to be able to defend against those timing pushes. But, you know, he's just going to run around, pick off some constructing SCVs. So far he has now maybe 3 kills. Good little stutter set micro with this Oracle. Looks like it might get chased down here in the corner. But okay, he got a little bit of damage done, and now we see he is producing Phoenix. He has, if we take a look at the units tab, he has 2 Phoenix out on the map, which are currently just sort of parked near his main base. So very, very interesting opening here from Sage.
Yeah, beautiful play there by Polt. I love how he had exactly 6 Marines in his natural as well as his main to be able to thwart the Oracle. Now he's actually put up 2 turrets because he's going to be moving out with his army. So I'm actually really curious to see what the Protoss ends up doing. I've never seen an Oracle, or I've never actually seen this opening before. So we'll see how this impacts the game. It looks like Polt has actually forgot combat shields here, so I'm wondering to see if he's still looking to move out here.
Yeah, wow, okay, so that's a very important part of his timing. We do see the +1 weapons researching right now, but still no combat shields in research, so it looks like, yeah, he just plain forgot it, which definitely affects things. Sage has been very, very efficient with his 1 gateway, and he has managed to warp in a good number of sentries and stalkers, so it looks like he's going to rely on force fields and the Nexus Cannon to keep this ward off the aggression. But now, as you can see, he's followed it up with a Templar Archives into a Twilight Council into a Templar Archives with Quick Storm research and a lot of gateways. Right now I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gates. So he's following this up with heavy gateway count here.
Yeah, I really like the decision from Polt to go back to his base and not actually attack. The lack of combat shields would have had a very, very negative impact on any sort of fight he would look to take, and so it was a really good decision to go back to his base and look to get that combat shield research completed before he was actually going to be moving out.
Yeah, and this is actually, I will say, like, it's kind of clever what Sage is doing here. You know, he did the 1 Oracle, so, like, try to get some damage done. Even with great defense by Polt, he was able to kill a few workers. And then he just pumped a couple of Phoenix, you know, not more than a couple. But he has had great scouting with these Phoenix. He's had good map vision this whole time. He's picked up a couple units over at the Zelnaga Watchtower, so he's been able to, you know, sort of limit Polt's vision on the map. And, of course, he's been trying for the medevac kills. Polt's been doing a great job of defending it, but, you know, he's made decent use of the Phoenixes. So not a bad build here from Sage. I would say don't try this one at home. It's very reliant on knowing exactly when and when not the Terran's going to hit. Because if the Terran had done some kind of crazy early pressure, you know, I mean, Sage had nothing. But now he's looking pretty healthy with his gateway count, and we've got a lot of action here in the middle of the map.
It looks like the armies are about to pass each other, just the way that Belcher is structured, and it looks like we might be going into a base trade scenario here. Sage is looking to put on some aggression, and so is Polt, so we'll see. We'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Sage actually left his Mothership Core at home, which means that he wants to try to defend this attack at home while he's putting on his own pressure in the front. So yeah, we have a bunch of Templar with Storm, 5 Templar with Storm, very, very strong army. Wow, nice force fields there, catching all those SCVs. Got a ton of, 21, 19, lots of workers killed going down on both sides. But it looks like Sage was not able to ward off Polt, so Polt's getting into the main and now starting to kill off very, very critical production buildings.
Wow, that 1 Templar has 13 kills. And I really, really like the position of the Terran player here. He has that wall. The Protoss player is not able to camp his production. And the Terran player is really just focusing down some gateways. It looks like he's going into the mineral line right now to pick off some workers, but I think the Terran player has a little bit of an advantage here. He's researching +1 armor, and he already has +1 attack, so he has the upgrade advantage, as well as a 3rd with mules.
Yeah, and Polt's doing a really nice job of picking off. He's picked off a bunch of the gateways, and now he's just pressuring this Nexus. You know, trying to. You know, as soon as he kills the Nexus, that cannon goes away, and then he's in really good shape. But Sage is doing some great defense up here. He warped in a couple of Templars at home and got a couple of critical storms with the Nexus cannon. All of the units are low. The medevacs are out of energy. Looks like he has forced Polt out of his main for the time being, and meanwhile he has broken through Polt's front and is starting to get some kills here in the mineral line, but he's running out of units.
Oh, this game is so close. The macro of Polt is really carrying him to victory here. That last round of Marauders was able to pick off the last few Stalkers that Sage had, and the reason why Polt ended up leaving the main base of Sage was so that his medevacs could get some healing on his army. Every single unit that he had was red.
Yeah, and now they're almost back up to full again thanks to the medevac healing, and Sage is just basically out of units. He only has a couple Zealots, a couple Templar, and yeah, it looks like in Polt's base he just has the 2 Archons and 2 Zealots, and he's, you know, picking off reactors and stuff, but there's just not much really useful left here for him to do. We see over, Polt actually managed to take a 3rd during this. He's dropped some mules. Sage is aware of it. He has a Zealot in the line, but will it be enough with all of these 1/1 Marauders with the 4 medevacs above?
Oh my God, I can't even put into words how close this game is. I still don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. He still has the 2 Templars. There's enough energy for a Storm, but is Storm going to be enough against these Marauders? The Nexus is about to go down. He gets a great Storm off on everything, but will it be enough? The Templars get focused down really nicely by Polt here, and he just has the probes. The probes are going to die to this army. All right, so it looks like Polt's going to clean up. He's going to win the fight in Sage's base, but will Sage be able to win the fight in Polt's?
This is a scenario where Terran's mules are just going to be so strong. In these low economy situations, Polt has one SCV, Sage has 4 probes. Mules here are just going to be so strong, especially now that Polt still has a lot of his production, or most of his production, even though he has some Archons, or an Archon actually, camped on top of his production, Polt is still producing.
Yeah, Polt's still making units because of the use of those mules. Sage is aware of the 3rd, and he keeps trying to pressure it, and once again he's going to take down everything that's there, but he doesn't have much left. He just has this Archon that's about to run out of shields. This Marauder's doing a really nice job of kiting it. Marauder's going to run in one more time, and will it get the kill on the Archon?
Archon survives.
Oh, and it gets picked up and boosted away. This is some crazy stuff going on here. The other full shield Archon shows up, and Polt has to run away for now. But like you said, he's still producing. We have another medevac coming out. We have a Marauder and 2 Marines. Yep. The production of Polt looks like it was too much because Sage was just out. He had no production left and nothing. He had, you know, at the end of the game, Polt has 9 harvesters. If we take a look at the army supply, Polt actually had double army supply. So Sage knew that he couldn't quite pull this one out.
What a close game. Those last 3 Marauders really sealed the deal for Polt right there, and they just came out of the barracks at the very last minute. Sage was camping on top of his production. What a game.
Yeah, that was a really interesting way that game played out. And you know, it was a real I'll back it up a little bit. It was a really interesting call by Sage to not bring the Mothership Core home. Not bring the Mothership Core with him when he pushed out. It's, you know, that's basically saying, like, I think that, you know, with force fields and with zealot warpins and everything, like, I can hold whatever push you throw at me with the Nexus Cannon. Whereas bringing the Mothership Core along with him would have been a more conservative play that would have let him actually recall home and be able to defend whatever push Polt threw at him. And I would have to say, with the very you know, sort of unique build that Sage did, I think it might have been better for him to bring the Mothership Core along because his army, as we saw towards the end, just was not that efficient in a base trade scenario. You know, he had 6 Templar, which are great for killing units, and they can morph into Archons, which are also great against units, but not that great against all these strong Terran buildings. And meanwhile, the Terrans got Stim Marauders, man.
Yeah, I definitely would have loved to have seen them actually fight each other in that game. The number of Templar that Sage had was definitely enough if you would have gotten some good storms off. The one thing is that Polt did have the upgrade advantage, so I wonder if that factored into his decision to go ahead and go with a base trade scenario.
That is, yeah, that might have been part of it. Sage might have been doubting his ability to take a fight. He might have felt forced into that base trade situation. He might have felt like it was his only option. But I think he probably would have been able to defend even without the upgrade advantage. I mean, that is one interesting thing to note about Sage's build is we never really saw the forges kick in for him because of the early investment into the Stargate and the Stargate units. That's a lot of gas. It's 150 gas for the Oracle, and then 200 more gas for the 2 Phoenixes. Not to mention the 150 that you put into making the Stargate itself. So it was a heavy gas investment, especially going into Templar, researching Storm, getting the 5 Templar, or 5, even 6, I think, Templar out that he had. So he did not have a lot of gas for upgrades, and so that did put Polt into a strong advantage, making the most of his bio.
Yeah, definitely. I still am not sure how I feel about the Stargate opening there. The delayed Oracle definitely relies on doing a little bit of damage. He could have gotten that same scouting information if he used a hallucination with one of the sentries. So I'm still not sure how I feel about that opening, but definitely a great game and it made for a really, really exciting one.
Yeah, like that. What a crazy game! The way that that ended with just it really could have gone either way. I had absolutely no idea who was going to win. And yeah, I will say that I will agree with you on this one. I'm the Stargate opening. Experiment with it. I would file it personally under the don't try this at home builds. Like I said, I feel like it's very reliant on knowing exactly what your opponent's timings are going to be. Which the players at the level of people like Sage and Polt, they're really precise with knowing exactly when their opponent can and can't do things. It's harder to figure that out as you're learning. But it was cute. He was able to pick up some units with the Phoenixes, but he wasn't really able to get the medevac damage in that I'm sure he wanted to do with the Phoenixes, and he wasn't really able to get the damage he wanted to do on the Oracle. So in the end, it didn't really quite work out. But maybe it'll be better for you. I don't know. It's a great game.
Definitely, definitely.
All right, so we'll wrap this one up here. Thank you guys so much for listening to our very first commentary from www.clang3.net. I am Balance.
And I'm Cardhu. Thanks again for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.